Tracy, Mark, Adrian, Michelle, Karen, ER, Margaret, Jan, Marilyn, Bertie, Jane, Melissa, Ellen, Charity, welcome to an open topless. Whoa, here we go. I forgot, man. I've not done one of these for a while. It's quite dodgy. You get chucked about on the bus all the time. The last bus is at 4 o'clock, right? They're every 15 minutes, the bus. And the last time I got the 4 o'clock bus, the bus driver thought he was a Formula 1 driver. He was driving like Lewis Hamilton. So I thought I'll not get the last bus, because the last bus, the guy's in a hurry to get finished. So this is the second last bus. But I forgot how much I get chucked about on the pothole streets of Edinburgh. You're not supposed to stand up when you're doing a live tour, when you're doing a bus tour, of course. You're supposed to be sitting down. Hi, Barbie. How's it going? Topless today? Topless today? It's not very busy on the bus. They're all watching the rugby. I've sacrificed watching Scotland getting beat from Ireland at rugby to bring you guys a live bus tour, by the way. I hope you appreciate the endeavours, us pure tour guides, the struggles we go through to give you guys the best experience in the whole wide world. It's okay, I talk nonsense for Scotland. Hello, Kelly and Anna Maria. Anita, Agatha, how's it going? Welcome to Edinburgh. Any Fast and Furious 9 fans? If after this tour is finished, if you watch Fast and Furious 9, you'll see here. They jump out that hotel, they're on an open top bus actually. So please, after the movie, after the tour's finished, watch Fast and Furious 9. I wouldn't recommend, I'm getting soaking here by the way. I wouldn't recommend watching it after it leaves Edinburgh. It's a pretty terrible movie, to be honest. Hey Karen, Gabby, Kelly, Cheryl. Ouch! How's it going? Welcome to a live tour of me getting chucked about on a bus. Hopefully the bus driver doesn't think he's Lewis Hamilton today. Welcome Elizabeth, Deborah, Chris, Michelle. They're waving at the staff. The bus stop's moved. So the new bus location, the new departure point is up past Waterloo Place, up past the Balmoral Hotel here. It used to be in St Andrew's Square, where we're going now, but the businesses in St Andrew's Square complained about the buses causing a nuisance, so the buses had to move. Hello Elizabeth, buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches, guten Abend, guten Morgen. Welcome to the Topless bus tour of Edinburgh. Tish, Jill, how's it going? The bus has changed. By the way, I've got a different bus tour on tomorrow. I'm doing the Britannia tour tomorrow. This is the city tour. There's two main bus tours. One is the city tour, and the other is the Britannia tour. So tomorrow we're going to a tour of a different part of Edinburgh. You'll see a part of the centre of Edinburgh, but then the bus goes down to the Botanical Gardens and then to Leith. And it stops. It's quite handy if you're going to see the Britannia. But you can just get a bus tour on this bus. You can get the bus down to Leith, go and do a visit of Britannia, and then get back on the bus. Woo! You're not supposed to stand up, by the way, when you're doing them. You're supposed to be sitting down, shall we say. So thank you, Tish. So you get chucked about a bit if you stand up like I do. And you also get whacked on the back of the head by trees, branches and so on. I've had that happen about 4 times. Hit on the head with a tree. Because you're not supposed to stand up on them. Hello, Peggy. Oh, Ashcraft had a light display tour on or something, didn't he? So we're now in St Andrew Square. That's the Walter Scott Monument in front of us here. Oh, Deborah, your name still doesn't suit you. Oh, that's a private joke between me and Deborah, by the way. Hopefully I won't have any signalling problems today. I had some yesterday, never had any today, earlier on. Whoa. Hello, Elizabeth and JV. So this is where the buses did used to leave from here. So this is us now in St Andrew Square. So the bus stops moving about the place. So this is in St Andrew Square now, you see. So this is where the buses used to leave from. The buses still do stop here, but this is not the main terminus anymore, just in case you're coming to Edinburgh to do an open-top topless tour bus. How many times can you say open-top tour bus, topless tour, the bus, or the tour in the world? In the world, one word, one sentence. Hello, Jodie and Anna. Welcome to an open-top bus tour of Edinburgh. This is St Andrew Square. This is one of... it's a public park. It used to be a private park. This is the oldest part of the new town in this area. The new town was built from 1767 onwards. And the oldest house in the new town is actually along a little street along there, along a little lane. All this is not original. Most of the new town has actually been knocked down, a lot of it. There are still some original buildings left. Hello everybody who's joining. Michael, Dawn. How's everybody doing today? Beautiful day today, but it's going to rain. It's definitely going to snow soon, they said. I put on three tours of snow tours. Winter Wonderland of Edinburgh. And of course what's happened last week was all the snow didn't come to Edinburgh. It bypassed us and went somewhere else. So I had to quickly improvise, reschedule. By the way, you get headphones, you get a free set of headphones when you come on. I've done 2 tours. You can get so you get a set of headphones when you come on the bus, right? You just plug it in, you just choose your language. Somebody's obviously left their headphones behind. So you just get the headphones and plug them in there, choose your language, you know. So I got 2 buses, so it was £18 for 2 tours, and that lasts for 48 hours. So as I mentioned earlier, there are 2 main tours, a city tour, this is the city tour, and tomorrow we will be taking the Britannia tour, down to the ex-Royal Yacht Britannia. Hello Nancy, how's it going? Nice sunshine, isn't it, in Edinburgh today? Nice glares you get, sunbeams. Hey Gabby and Krista. I just went for tacos, they weren't very nice. Brenda, how's life today? Hello Lorraine, welcome to the Topless tour bus. Open-top tour bus, open-top tour of Edinburgh. We're in St Andrew Square. There's Henry Dundas, the last British politician to be impeached for misuse of public funds. He extended slavery by 15 years across Britain. And during that period, 600,000 people were condemned to slavery. He married a teenage girl for her inheritance, made her destitute and homeless. And he was an all-round nasty, nasty man. And yet here he is, Henry Dundas, with the tallest statue in the whole of Edinburgh. Isn't that shameful? Scotland has got a bit of a dark past, like most countries. A lot of this new town, unfortunately, was built on the proceeds of slavery. Ding! Then we've got a tram system, you see? See the trams? We've got a tram system. The tram line's getting extended just now. So the tram comes all the way from the airport, and now it stops at the centre. But from June onwards, the trams are getting extended down to my hometown of Leith. So isn't that exciting? We've had 4 years of chaos. I have not driven a car for 4 years because there has been no point because of all the roadworks in Edinburgh. So I've not driven. I've probably forgotten how to drive. So the trams have been here for about 10 years. And they were supposed to go all the way down to Leith originally as well, but they ran out of money, of course, as they do on these projects. And then 10 years later, they somehow find the money. And now they've spent 4 years extending it down to Leith. And there's talk about extending it further as well. We have a very good public transport system here in Edinburgh. It's the second best outside of London. Hello, Gordon. How you doing? Marison, Pauline, Thank you very much for coming on my tour. Thank you very much, thank you very, very much. Hey, Karen. Welcome to St Andrew Square, named after the patron saint of Scotland. In fact, Susan from Toronto, see that bugger there? That's your Dundas. In Toronto, there's a street called Dundas Street, and they're in the process of changing it from Dundas Street because he extended slavery by 15 years, this person here. So Toronto is taking down Dundas Street, I believe. What is the best area to stay for a first-time tourist? Leith. I always say Leith, Becky, because that's where I'm from. Hello, how's Becky and Lexi? Margaret, Lucinda, TP, Jane. How's everyone doing? Not yet. I heard it's going to cost £1 million or something to change the name. Bizarre. Hey, Anna. Hello, Krista. Nice to see you. Carolyn as well. How's Lexi doing? Oh, what's all the people joining? Yeah, I would say Leith. Hello from the state of Maine. Hello there. How you doing, everybody? Claire, Mark, Stephanie, Suzanne. I'm great. How am I? I'm okay, apart from getting chucked about on a bus. I forgot what it's like to be standing up on an open-top topless tour bus with all the potholes in Edinburgh. You get chucked about like a billy hole. You're not supposed to stand up, of course. Hello, Kathy and Robin. You're not supposed to stand up on these buses. See the trams there? You are actually supposed to be sitting down, paying attention to the tour guide. But of course, the tour guides are boring in comparison to me. You don't want to listen. Who would you rather listen to, everybody? A boring bus tour guide or me, tour guide extraordinaire, talker of nonsense? There's Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. Hello, Christina. Some of these tour guides on the buses can be quite boring, you know, especially the pre-recorded ones. Not this bus company. This bus company's got a recorded tour, but on another, there's two rival bus tour companies. So this tour is a self. You just plug in your headphones, you get a set of headphones. And the other bus tour company, they do have a live guide. So that's why I have to come on these ones, because I can't compete with a guy talking on a microphone over a speaker. And guess what, everyone? It's going to start raining. It's going to rain or snow today whilst I'm on this bus. Who wants to put a bet on? We'll put a bet on what minute do you think it's going to rain on this bus? Woo! Jesus, holy moly. Whoa! Look, there's the Walter Scott Monument to everybody. Hello, Nicola from Budapest. Hello, everybody. Karen, your watch is wrong, is it not? Oh, 4:01. All right, I thought you were telling me it's 4:01 now. I forgot what I say sometimes. 4:01. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you what, by the way, I can feel something already. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. The Sir Walter Scott Monument, the Gothic rocket as it's known locally to its people here. There's actually a statue of Mary Queen of Scots carved into that statue, that monument, but it doesn't count as a statue. Connie, my girl. My girl's mad at me. The Gothic rocket. Julie. Karen, Christina. That's what it's called, the Gothic rocket. Scotland has a particular type of architecture called Gothic. Look, here's the art galleries as well, the Scottish National Art Galleries. Can I give a bit of advice when oh, there's the rain started. Hello everyone who's joining. Look, there's Edinburgh Castle postcards. Picture. Edinburgh Castle, right, Camden. We've got Lewis Hamilton driving the bus today. Look at this, get ahead of your postcards, everyone. Oh, take a postcard now. You get it with the statue, you see. Yep, we've got Nigel Mansell or Lewis Hamilton driving the bus today. There's Edinburgh Castle. This is the second last bus today. The 4 o'clock bus is even worse. Never ever get the last tour bus because the guy's always in a hurry to get finished. And don't stand up because you get whacked by trees. You got the horse's head. You've got to be quick. Can I give you a bit of advice on this tour? You need to be so fast with your postcards. It's so windy, my microphone just got blown out of my ear. Jesus, holy moly, driver, calm down, man. Did you get him? Yeah, you need to be quick. Just keep on flashing all your postcards. Just keep pressing buttons until something works. Yeah, my microphone fell out my ear with the wind. Am I freezing? Mucho frio aquí. It's not too bad today, actually. Look at this. Get a postcard. Just keep pressing the pictures. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on my tour today. My name is Paul. And as you can see, the tour bus has already started. You can see Edinburgh Castle here from the back. Hello, everybody who's joining. 1 second. Jenner's is still there, but it's got burnt down. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on my tour today. My name is Paul, and I'm going to be your tour guide. How lucky are you? Or unlucky, as the case may be. So welcome to Edinburgh's tour bus. There's two main tours in Edinburgh. This is the city tour, and there is also a tour of the Britannia. Okay, so you can get a 48-hour pass for £18. It cost me £18 for 2 tickets for the 2 tours, and that lasts for 48 hours. So £18 for 2 hours, or I think it was like £15 for one. So you're as well going for the 2 tours, you know what I mean? Hello, everybody who's joining. Welcome to the Topless tour bus of Edinburgh. Luckily for you guys, it's not me that's topless. And me as well, because I'll be freezing to death. Oh, by the way, over here, we've got another statue of a female, right? Look over here. Look. Look, I'm going to zoom in. This is a statue to represent apartheid. See it over there? See it? See the statue there? So it doesn't count as a statue of a female, right? Thank you, Paul, for leaving a tip. Yeah, it doesn't count as a named statue because it's an unnamed lady and child. It's to represent apartheid in South Africa. So this is a tip-based platform. As you can see, Paul's just left a tip. Is there anybody here for the very first time? Does everyone know how to take postcards? Yeah? The big round white button? That's the usher hall. So the big round white button, you take postcards, and on this bus tour, you have to be very quick with the postcard button because the bus drivers drive quite fast. So you have to be quite quick with the postcard buttons. You can also follow my channel. If you are not already following my channel, please follow my channel. It's one way of helping the tour guides. Also taking lots of postcards. It's free. You don't get charged to take postcards. Look at this beautiful building here. This is a cinema called the Odeon, but inside there is also apartments. That's houses in there. That's called Art Deco architecture, and I really like that type of architecture. It's built in the 1930s, and I really like the architecture of Art Deco. Hello, Margaret, and everyone who's joining for the very first time. As I say, my name is Paul. I don't take anything I say too seriously, by the way. I've got a habit of talking absolute nonsense, and sometimes that gets me into trouble. We got the trams 10 years ago, and the tram lines are now extending. So bear in mind, I have got a habit of talking absolute nonsense. Don't take anything I say too seriously. But coming up just this area now, this is us now coming into the old town area of Edinburgh. So we've just left the new town area, and we're now coming into the old town area. See the castle up there? That's the back of the castle. In this area here, there's actually 3 lap dancing bars here. You see the lap dancing bars? Hello, Tammy, how you doing? So see this, we've got Birkin here, lap dancing. We've got Birkin here. I do tours about Birkin here. We've also got some baby dolls. And we've also got the Western Bar. You've got 3 lap dancing bars on each corner. So this area is called the Pubic Triangle. I'll repeat that. It's called the Pubic Triangle because there are 3 strip bars on each corner. And by the way, get rid of your postcards. This is the best building in Edinburgh. Quick, get rid of your postcards, everybody. Postcard, picture. Look at that, isn't that simply stunning? That brutalist architecture. I'm only kidding, by the way. That's what I say. Don't listen to anything I say. I just talk nonsense. How's it going, everybody? We're now coming into the grass market area of Edinburgh. And all you Americans and Canadians, don't get too excited because you can't buy marijuana here legally. Well, you can. With the castle. It's cool. Hello, Tess and everybody. How's life? We're just coming into the Old Town area now, the grass market area. You've got very different angles. Oh, look at it, yes. You get right. I'm serious with the postcard this time, right? Get in with your postcards, everyone. You've got a good view of the castle coming up. By the way, you've got a cat cafe here in Edinburgh. You pay £10 an hour and you get to sit in a cafe full of cats. Right, postcards. There we go, look at that. Stunning, isn't it? Apart from the tree getting in your way. So this is the grass market area now. As you can see, it's very quiet just now because the rugby is on. Everyone will be watching the rugby. Scotland are playing Ireland today at rugby here in Edinburgh. So obviously the streets of Edinburgh are very quiet because everyone is in the bar watching the rugby game going on. That's why I done this tour at this time of day, because I thought it's going to be quite quiet on the bus as well. So I was correct. The last bus is at 4 o'clock off season, by the way. 4 o'clock. So this is the second last bus. So the last bus goes the driver is always in a hurry. That's why I don't get on the last bus. I got it once before. So Edinburgh is about 100 square miles. The population is just over 500,000. And we have about 10% of the population are students. We have 6 universities here in Edinburgh. Hello, Dan and Tony. Thank you for coming on this Topless tour bus. See here, there's the public execution site here. Look, postcard. See the gallows, see the outline of the gallows there? That's where they used to publicly execute people. Scotland was a violent country. Well, we still are a violent country, of course. We're a nation of hairy-arse Scottish warriors. William Wallace, the Wolf of Badenoch, the Black Douglas, Robert the Bruce, and me. Look at that, nice skies. No, our time hasn't changed, Becky. Look, nice sky. Look at that sky above the castle there. Look at that. Look at the clouds. Wow, that's a picture and a half, everyone. The McDonald's. Yeah, you don't mess with the McDonald's. They're one of the Scotland's most fearsome clans. Part Viking, of course. See that guy down there, man. That guy, he's nuts, man. It goes away in 2 weeks. Does it change in 2 weeks? By the way, any Harry Potter fans? Harry Potter fans, postcard. That's where Harry Potter was written. Behind the boarded up windows there. Oh yes, I might be getting paid by Visitor Scotland, man. Yes, there is scaffolding work going on. Last year they installed solar panels. They installed solar panels to the castle to save energy. There was a bit of a outcry about that. Get ready for Greyfriars Bobby, by the way. Get ready for postcard finger again. You've got the Greyfriars Bobby. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what they're doing. See the bicycle on the wall as well. The small penny farthing, look. Excuse the finger. Of course, Greyfriars Bobby's the little homeless dog who allegedly guarded his master's grave for 14 years. It might be a shaggy dog tail, however. Don't believe everything that you get told, especially by dodgy tour guides called Paul. I do have a habit of talking absolute nonsense, but it's quite good. I get paid for it. Well, more than I get paid, depending on how generous the Hago Voyagers are feeling today. Do we have any rich people today? Hopefully there's a millionaire watching. Do we have any millionaires? Look, this is Potter Row, by the way. We've got a street called Potter Row. Edinburgh is the birthplace of Harry Potter. Or is it? You'll have to come on my Harry Potter tour to find out the truth behind the myths and legends of Harry Potter. This is the university area now. Edinburgh, Scotland is the highest educated part of Europe. Over 50% of our population have got a degree. Obviously, I'm not one of the 50%. But yes, we have free education in Scotland, free university. And Scotland is the highest educated country in the whole of Europe. And that does not include me. Hello, Karen. Welcome. So we've got no millionaires today. We do not have any millionaires watching today. So I'm not going to get rich today on my tours. Look at this building, by the way. Check this building coming up on the right-hand side. We can see past the trees. This is George Heriot's. Yes, Scotland was also the first country in the world, ladies, to eradicate period poverty. Last year, Scotland became the first country in the world to give everybody who needs sanitary products for free of charge. Look at that. George Heriot School. Some people think it's Hogwarts with the 4 towers and all that, you know. Alexi's not a millionaire. I was looking for a younger lady that's like, what's that? You know how like girls get a sugar daddy? Like I want a younger girl who's rich. What would you call that? Probably call me dodgy, right enough, eh? Like Leonardo DiCaprio, he's never had a girlfriend over 25, and he's about 48. What's that all about? You know what I mean? Bit dodgy. What was the church you passed on the corner about 2 minutes ago? It was opposite. I don't think it was a church anymore. A lot of the churches in the centre are now no longer churches, Kathy, because there's not that many people live in the centre because of the increase in hotels, short-term let accommodation and so on. This is the Edinburgh College of Art, by the way. This is where all the rich people come. As I said, Edinburgh's got free university for Scottish people. But one way they make money is they charge postgrads to come to Edinburgh to study for a year or so. And we get a lot of Americans, Canadians, Australians, Germans, Asians, postgrad students. This is the old fire station here as well. See here? This is the old fire station here. See the red sandstone? The red sandstone is quite unusual for Edinburgh, actually. What happened was that most of the sandstone is yellow. And that's what most of the new town was built with, the yellow sandstone. But of course they ran out of the sandstone, the yellow stuff. So they had to then get the red sandstone in from Glasgow, from the west coast. So that's why we do have some red sandstone. But it's not very common in Edinburgh. And there's the castle again. You see the back of the castle? Yeah, Carlisle's got a lot of red sandstone actually. I'm going to Carlisle to do a tour about Mary Queen of Scots soon. Here's Edinburgh's ugliest building again. Argyle House, the one of Artie. We had a lot of foreign students at uni and they had to pay for their courses back in the 70s. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, Edinburgh's got, well, Scotland is a university country, you know, we've got so many. Well, Edinburgh's got 6 universities here actually. We've got 6 universities in Edinburgh. And, oh. So, look at this building, isn't it really ugly? It really annoys me, that building. I know I make fun out of it, right? But it actually really annoys me. Because who in their right mind thought that that was an appropriate building to build in the centre of Edinburgh, in the historic Newtown area? And the worst thing is, it was the local authorities that built it. It was the council. The person who done that should have been executed. Yep, the council. Obviously, his friend had a concrete company. There's the back of the castle. You can see why they put the castle on top of the volcanic rock here, can't you? It's quite difficult to break into that. It is the most seized upon castle in the whole of Europe, they say. It's been seized upon about 26 times. And do we have any Sean Connery fans here? Do we have any Sean Connery fans? Of course I'm in my shites, Miss Moneypenny. Well, I can tell you something. Sean Connery's obviously from Edinburgh. He lived just about 10 minutes away from here. And this is the back of the art college here. And guess what? Sean Connery used to be a bouncer before he was an actor, and he was also a model. He was a model. Very good looking guy, of course. But guess what? He was a nude model. He was a nude model. Sean Connery was a nude model in this very building here. And seemingly he was quite well endowed, is all I'm saying. I never saw it, but I've been told seemingly he had nothing to be ashamed of. But as I say, that part of my tour has not been fact-checked because I didn't see it. So who knows the secret of the black magic box? There's a castle, look. You can see it, look at the different angles. Oh, he was a milkman as well, that's right, Lorraine. And he was a milkman. A milkman, a nude model, a bouncer. Seemingly he was quite handy with his fists as well. Seemingly he took on a whole gang once. Thank you, Michelle, for leaving a tip. Hello, Janet and Guinness. How's life today? To back of the castle now. You see the half moon battery? That dates back to 1573. And I've got full signal, by the way, all the way. I've had no signal problems today, but this is where I got signal problems yesterday. So if I start getting signal problems, everyone, bear with me, it will change, okay? Hey, Kathy. How's it going, honey? How's life? Thank you for joining my tour. And Carol. This is a castle up here now. Oh, yeah. This is where it gets really bumpy. This street's made of cobbles. So there's a castle up there. Camera Obscura. And the hub, the church, as they call it. It's not a church anymore. Hey, Carol Sue Zahara. Whoa, this is a really bouncy bit. That's no longer a church anymore as well. It's now a conference centre. And for some reason, it's been closed for nearly 3 years. It closed at the outbreak of COVID and it's never opened back up. Margaret, if you're coming to Edinburgh, I know a good tour guide. Look at the skies. You'll get a nice postcard there, everyone, hopefully. A nice postcard. Thank you for following my channel. It's a great thing to do, by the way, is follow my channel. I don't get any monetary value for it, but I'm quite egotistical and narcissistic. Look at the sky, it's definitely going to snow today. In fact, what I'll do is I'll turn the phone vertically, okay? I'm going to turn the phone vertically for a second. Get a picture. Hey, Santosh, there's a nice postcard for you. There you go. How cool is that, everyone? How's Santosh doing? Kathy was meant to tour Scotland 2 years ago, but in COVID. Yeah, it's been a bit of a pain. The last couple of years have been a bit of a pain for everyone, hasn't it? So this is the Royal Mile of Edinburgh. Most of you will probably have been here on some tours before or in person. But it's kind of different to see it from the top of a bus, isn't it? So hopefully you're getting some nice... Oh, look, there's the Ghost Bus tour. Look. Who are you going to call? Ghost Bus Tours. I emailed them to try and see if I could go and do a bus tour with them, but they never got back to me. The Ghost Bus Tours. Edinburgh is supposed to be the most haunted city in Europe, by the way. Edinburgh is more haunted than York. Man, my phone went squint again, man. Edinburgh is more haunted than York. And the way they gauge who has the windiest city, who has the most haunted city, is by the number of ghost tours. So Edinburgh has more ghost tours than York. So look here, look everyone, can you read that? In the house on the east side of this close, Robert Burns lived during his first visit to Edinburgh in 1786. Yeah, I always get orbs on my tours. I always get orbs. There was one in Brigadoon once. I was trying to cross the Brigadoon, the witches were on the other side, right? And as I was getting halfway across the bridge, I was getting held back by a force field. And all these sunbeams were coming in. Oh. Can you hear the bagpipes? Can you hear the bagpipes? So this is all the tourist tat shops. I give you one bit of advice when you come to Edinburgh. Don't buy anything from these shops here. They're all just tart and tat. It's all goods that are made in China and so on. Nothing against China, but the goods are not Scottish. So you have to be very careful when you shop in Edinburgh, because a lot of the stuff are for Tourists. Terry, yes, we're going to do some haunted tours soon, actually. But I'm going to do them in a couple of weeks, actually. I'll speak to Mike. Or if he doesn't want to do them, I'll do another one. And see. So we can't go down the Royal Mile, by the way. So the bus can't go down here. The bus is going to turn. Where to go for shopping authentic? Well, you can go to some shops in Edinburgh, but you just have to be very careful. Obviously, there are some shops that sell Scottish produce, but it tends to be more expensive. But basically, you get what you pay for, and it's made in Scotland, you know. Ooh. So the tour is not going to go down the Royal Mile, it can't. You can still visit Mary King's Close. There's a mound. I used to work there. See the Bank of Scotland? Market tours on. Market. Oh, 1 second, everyone. I'm just having to. Sorry, Sarah, what do you mean, market tours? Barbie, that's that hotel you stayed in. It's still covered in scaffolding. It's been like that since COVID, 3 years. This is George the Fourth Bridge, by the way. Market tours. Sarah, what do you mean? Can you expand on that? So this is coming back round to Greyfriars Bobby now. Yeah. So there's the Elephant House Cafe. Hey, Sandy. Oh, products and market. Yeah, markets are okay, yes. Sorry, I was getting slightly confused. So there's Greyfriars Bobby. You can always tell there's always people around the statue. There. The National Museum of Scotland is a fantastic place to go as well here. If you're in Edinburgh and you've got kids, you must come to the National Museum of Scotland here. Pringles is not as good as it used to be, Lorraine. Pringles has went downhill a little bit. Pringles used to be really good, but they've went a little bit. The quality's not as good in Pringles anymore. So this is the National Museum. Oh, there's a boy just went flying on his skateboard. This is the National Museum of Scotland. Can you see here? They've got great restrooms in there, by the way. The museums are all free of charge. And honestly, see if it rains. Well, it rains in Edinburgh. It rains 191 days of the year, right? So there's a good chance if you come to Edinburgh, it's going to rain. You're supposed to take your skateboard with you, buddy. And, yeah, so if it does start to rain, you just go into one of the museums or the galleries. They're all free. Yeah, my son used to do skateboarding, man. God, what a laugh. I used to do skateboarding as well when I was younger, man. It's great fun. So all these buildings here are university buildings. As I say, Edinburgh's got 6 universities. So a lot of these buildings will either be university buildings or connected to the courts. The court. Like the criminal courts. Hello, James and Mark. It's just started to rain, but there is a museum on the Royal Mile that has the history of dolls. Yes, there is. There's a few museums on the Royal Mile. You've got the Museum of Childhood. And you've got the other museum, I can't remember what it's called. One you're on about, Barbie, can't remember. Museum of Childhood. You've got the Edinburgh Museum as well, which used to be a prison, actually. Hey, Faith and Jen. Jackie. It's nice sky, isn't it? It's started to rain a little bit. What time is it? 23 minutes past. It started to rain. But it's just little spittins. The art galleries are fantastic as well, and that's correct. You've got the Gallery of Modern Art. You've got the Portrait Gallery. You've got the National Portrait of Scotland. By the way, we're now coming up to a Harry Potter cafe. We went past the Elephant House cafe, right? And this cafe here, this is where Joanne Nolan used to write Harry Potter books as well in there. Spoons, it used to be called. It's now a Chinese restaurant. Oh, look what's coming to Edinburgh. I'm so excited. I've got no idea what it's about, but all my American tourists tell me it's fantastic, Hamilton. Has anyone been to see Hamilton? You've got the Surgeons Hall Museum as well. Is it good? What is it about? By the way, excellent curry shop here, Kebab Mahal. Anyone who likes curries? Kebab Mahal. Excellent. This is the student area now. This is south side of Edinburgh now. This is the south side, so this is a massive can't even say it, a massive student area. I can't say the word student. So you'll see there's a lot of Asian community here. So you'll see a lot of noodle bars, Chinese restaurants, Japanese sushi bars, noodle bars. So this is the south side of Edinburgh. So if you like your Asian food, this is the place to come. I'm too Scottish probably. I don't even like musicals. I remember I went to see Miss Saigon with my ex-wife, right? We went to see Miss Saigon in Edinburgh, and like about 20 minutes into the show, and I said to my ex-wife, I says, when do they start talking? She says, they don't start talking, you idiot. It's a musical. I didn't even know. Yeah, we've got Lidl's here, Lidl. Yeah, Miss Saigon, I must admit, it was a fantastic show. Musicals are not my cup of tea, but I'll tell you what, that Miss Saigon, whew, amazing, by the way. So I'm just wondering when I can take I don't even know what route this bus is going. It's like the bus has changed routes again. I never used to come this way. We're going to go back left, so we'll start seeing our first seat in a minute. It has a lot of raps, no, does it? Send a tweet to Jackie Rowan. I've asked her to come on one of my Harry Potter tours. Somebody called J. Rowan that actually came on my Harry Potter tour about a year and a half ago. I was doing a Harry Potter tour and somebody came on the chat called J. Rowan. So I don't know if it was her or not. But I use it as a marketing tool now. This Harry Potter is so good. J. Rowan came on it. I wonder if it was her, eh? The claim to fame, eh? Joanne Nolan's been on my tour about Harry Potter. It's called Busting the Myths and Legends of Harry Potter. Maybe that's why she came on it. Because some of the Harry Potter tour guys in Edinburgh, they talk even more nonsense than I do. Can you believe it, everyone? Yeah, there's an ambulance. Yeah, we'll do it. Every time I do a tour in Edinburgh, ambulance. We visit Scotland. Yeah, come to Edinburgh and see Hamilton. I take Americans on tours of Scotland and they all go on about Hamilton. So now if I go and see it, I can talk to them about it. Oh yeah, do you remember that bit? So we're going left here now. Okay, so we're going left now. So this is the Meadows area down there. Is the Meadows area. And coming up now is the volcanic area. Edinburgh. The city of Edinburgh is built on 7 hills, just like Sheffield. And a Rome. Hey Sue. How's it going? Look at the volcano. We've got an extinct volcano. As I said, we've got 7 hills in Edinburgh, and they're all volcanic. Luckily for us, they're all extinct. They all erupted hundreds of millions of years ago, so we're quite safe in Edinburgh. And that's why the castle itself sits on top of a volcano. I just think it's fantastic. You know, when they were planning the city. I mean, how lucky were they to have a volcano directly in the centre with a castle on top? I just think that's great. Everyone's in. I knew this bus tour would be quiet today because rugby is on. Does anyone know the score with Scotland and Ireland? I saw Scotland score a try earlier on, but hey Lexi, I know. Thank you, Christopher, for following my channel. So again, this is university areas. This is all students live here. Massive student area. St Leonard's it's called. And there's our first seat, Salisbury Crags, look. That's where a geologist discovered the world was hundreds of millions of years old. Scotland are getting hammered. Oh, gee whiz. Not so good. Yeah, I've had a couple of nights spent in here, by the way. I wouldn't advise a night out in there, look. Police Scotland. The cells are atrocious, man. You don't want to get arrested at the weekends anyway. You get chucked in one cell with all the drunk people. Jesus. Oh, thank you, Lisa, for following my channel. If you're not already following my channel, everybody, If you could follow my channel, it's one small way you can help the tour guides. I know everybody cannot afford to leave a tip these days. Cheryl, you've joined a bit late, love. 30 minutes. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. You've been neglecting me. Natalie. Oh, there must be another tour finished. Is up? What time's it? Whose tour's finished? 5:30? 4:30 even? Sometimes you can tell when a tour finishes because you get lots of people joining your tours. They're like, hello, how's it going, everybody? Thank you for following. Hello, Emily. How you doing? Joyce as well. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for choosing me as your tour guide today. I do coach tours of Edinburgh, right? I pick up coach tours in Edinburgh from a hotel in Edinburgh somewhere, and I say to them, say hello. Well, first of all, I greet my tour group by saying, Buenos dias. I try and wake my tour group up, because it's 9 o'clock in the morning, so I get in the coach full of energy. Good morning, my name is Paul. Buenos dias. So they all have to say Buenos dias back to me. And then I say to them, thank you so much for choosing me as your tour guide today. And then I say to them, oh, you have not got a choice, have you? Oh, well, no luck, you're lumbered with me. And that's the difference between you people, because you people have actually chosen to come on my tours. And some of you choose to come on more than one tour, and I find that bizarre. Oh, my microphone's blown away again. 1 second, everyone, my microphone's blown away. Oh, it's so windy. Edinburgh's the windiest country in the whole world, the city in the whole world. By the way, oh, thank you for the tips, by the way. Hello, Jolene. Thank you for the tips, by the way. Jackie, my enthusiasm is contagious. It's so contagious you had to say it twice. I only jest. I know sometimes there is a glitch on the app for some reason. How you doing, Jolene? Thank you for coming on my tour. You're just slightly late, however. I'll need to be sending you a strict message. Do not be late on my tours, ever again. I'm only kidding, by the way. I told you I talk nonsense for Scotland, didn't I? Kelly, you have your dad watching. Hello, Kelly's dad. How you doing, buddy? How's life? Oh, you're late today. Jeez, what is doing, Jolene? This is just not good enough. This is just not good enough at all. I'm going to have to have a word. By the way, Edinburgh was a walled city. From 1513 until 1767, Scotland was at risk of being attacked by the English on several occasions. So Edinburgh built a wall around the city, and part of it is still standing here. So get ready, everybody. Part of the city wall is still here. It's not very exciting. It's not worth a postcard, but so there you go. There's part of the Flodden Wall. That dates back to 1513. When up to 40,000 hairy-arsed Scottish warriors invaded England on behalf of the French. It was the worst military disaster that Scotland ever undertook. Up to a third of the Scots were killed, including most of the nobility, and King James IV was killed in battle against the English at the Battle of Flodden. And Edinburgh had to respond by building a wall. Now, I've got no idea where this bus tour is going from here, because sometimes it goes straight on, and sometimes it goes to the right. No one's on the bus. I know everyone's watching the rugby, Joyce. Scotland are playing Ireland at rugby today. That's why I've done the tour at this time, because I knew it would be very quiet, because everyone's watching the rugby. It's the international rugby match. By the way, postcard coming up, so we'll see what we get. There's a guy climbing up a wall. By the way, this is a nice wee street for clothes and restaurants here. It's called Blackfriars Street. There used to be a monastery here. Look, keep going, bus, keep going. I like the name of this coffee shop. Look, can we see it? Pro-caffeination. The blue man's coming up. Yes, Jan. You recognise this area? There he's there, look. We'll get a postcard in a minute. Gordon Nicholson, kilt makers. Very famous kilt makers. Still the same score, thanks, Cafe. I'm not really a rugby fan, to be honest. I'm more of a soccer fan. But I must admit, I do watch the Nationals. So you can see these houses there, it's all baronial architecture, Scottish baronial. Ooh! Gee whiz, where's the bus driver gone, man? Like, travel roads, don't stay there. With the blue man trying to climb up the old city walls. This would have been part of the city walls. And you had to pay to get back into the city walls, to the city. So this man is just to represent the figures, the people who had to climb up the walls to avoid paying the tax. But you look at the name of the coffee shop, I quite like this. Look. Pro-caffeination. I do like the name of that. And next door you've got Mary's Cafe Bistro. There's a lovely vegetarian restaurant down here as well, I think, if it's on the right street. I get confused with my street. Oh no, this is St Mary Street. I called it Blackfriars, it's actually St Mary Street. I get confused with my streets sometimes where I am. So obviously we've been stuck in traffic now. In fact, I remember doing this tour maybe last year I was doing this tour here, and we got stuck in traffic. There was major roadworks going on, right? And it started to rain. A heavy storm came on. There was no rain forecast, right? And I'm at this point of the bus tour, and well, a storm blew in. Well, the wind. Well, so I've got an umbrella, right? I've put the umbrella up. That got blown inside out straight away. So I had to sit on the back of the bus getting soaked for the whole tour. I lost 3 umbrellas last year to the Edinburgh wind. Oh, we're going to go down the Royal Mile now. Cheryl, do you remember that? It's so funny. So that's us back into the Royal Mile. Now this section of the Royal Mile is closed off. In fact, that looks open. I know, it's another bit. Yeah, that was a terrible tour. That's probably the worst ever tour I've done. See the Moroccan statue up there? I missed them. So this is us back on the Royal Mile, everybody. As you can see, some of you all recognise the Royal Mile. The castle sits at the top, and the palace sits at the bottom. So this is in the Canongate area. I'm just trying to see the best place to get a postcard. If you keep it out, oh look, hey Natasha! Woo! I'm scared to let go. I have to hold on to a banister because if I let go... So there's a little museum here. That's a nice museum. And you've got the Canongate Church as well. Try 7:15. Oh. Richard in Australia has a shower cap for his gimbal. I've got a plastic bag with a hole poked out the corner. So what? I've got a clear plastic bag in my bag, and it's got a hole cut out of it. So if it starts to rain, because the gimbals are not waterproof, the phones are mostly waterproof nowadays. The latest phones are mostly waterproof, but the gimbals are not. So this is coming up now to the Parliament Building postcard. Can't get zoomed out enough, man. Hi, Charlotte. Do we have any Elvis Presley fans here? Any Elvis fans? I've got a really crap joke. My pet. I had a pet mouse. I had a pet mouse called Elvis. It died last night. It got caught in a trap. Look, see here. These are based on Elvis Presley's sideburns. That's the house of the Scottish Parliament. Woo! What way's the bus driver going to go? We've got to go past the palace. Here's the palace and the Parliament. Coming up. It's definitely going in. Oh yes, you've gone right. There we go. There's the Palace of Holyrood. Yeah, the bus is potholes in the road. You've really got to be fast. There's an 17th century house there. So there's the Palace of Holyrood as well. Yes, I am a talker of nonsense, you see. They'll get a nice postcard of the palace here, hopefully. Everyone. Ooh! You have to be quick on the postcard fingers. You just got to randomly press the postcard button and hope you get one when you're doing these buses. I'm not in charge of the driver. When I do my coach tours with my American tourists, I'm in charge of the driver. So I tell the driver where to stop, where to go, stop here, pull in here, and so on. But unfortunately, I've not got that level of control over this bus driver. I'll maybe go up to the dynamic. Oh, we'll just go round this roundabout perhaps. I'm not sure what way he's going. Hello, Carol. We're just going round the roundabout. Oh, yeah. Oh no, we're going up to the dynamic earth. So like you even get ice cream vans in the winter in Scotland. Ice cream van. It's crazy. See the hedgehog here? This is like, this is a dynamic earth. This is like a visitor attraction place. It's mostly aimed at, it's all about the geology of Scotland. Because see up here, this is where a geologist called Robert Hutton was walking one day, right? Because up until about 200 years ago, the Western world thought the world was as old as the Bible, 9,000 years old. So most people in the world thought the world was aged the same as the Bible. But a guy called Robert Hutton was walking up there, and he started studying the rock formations, right? And what he realised was that the world was not 9,000 years old, it was actually millions of years old. So his work led to them finding out that the world was in fact billions of years old. Billions of years old. So Robert Hutton, an Edinburgh geologist, is called the godfather of geology. And this is the back of the Parliament here. See the back of it? Woo! What's the statue that looks like Cleopatra's Needle? It's actually called Cleopatra's Needle, but it's actually the Martyrs' Monument. See, that's the back of the Parliament. 1 second, everyone. 1 second, Cathy, I'll tell you in a minute. Just waiting on the bus turning round now. See the back of the Parliament. You can see the Parliament as well. Some of the windows have got bars on them, and that's to keep the politicians in. You can't trust them, you know. So you have to put bars on the windows to keep the politicians in there, so they don't escape. You can't trust the politicians, you know. Well, look what's happening. I don't know if the people in the rest of the world, the BBC in England have, they've told one of their sports presenters to step aside because he criticised the British government. Aye, Cathy, right, okay, the Martyrs' Monument, they were, what happened was in the 1820s, at the start of the 1800s, there was a radical war. There was a group of political activists, mostly weavers, right? And what they did was they were going on to go on strike and stuff like that to try and get better conditions, better rates of pay and so on. And the authorities responded by executing some of the leaders and sending some of the others to the colonies and so on as a punishment. And so the people of the Scotland whipped round and built the Cleopatra's Needle as a martyrs' monument. So because the workers wanted fair conditions, there was no trade unions or nothing like that in these times, of course, you know. So it's a monument to respect the martyrs, mostly weavers. Some of them were put to work as well. They actually built a road. They actually built a road round here called the Radical Road after the Radical War. So round here is the Radical Road. It's actually closed off just now because some of the prisoners, it was actually Sir Walter Scott's idea. He said rather than have the prisoners doing nothing, he says they'll have them build a road around the volcano. So they built a road called the Radical Road, named after the radicals who wanted better conditions, you know. And votes, because nobody had a vote back in those times as well. There was only people who owned a certain amount of property who had a vote that were allowed to have a vote, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know if it's a bit of a dodgy period, you know. 1820s, the Radical War, the weavers. Oh, by the way, any gamers, any people who have got grandchildren or children, that's Rockstar North. That's the headquarters of Grand Theft Auto. You know the games, Grand Theft Auto, Red Redemption and so on? That's where it was made. That was a Scottish company. We got bought over by an American company, so Grand Theft Auto, when it first came out, was based in Scotland. Yeah, Scottish company. And even if you play Grand Theft Auto now, some of the developers are Scottish, and in Grand Theft Auto, even though it's set in America, you will always find Scottish graffiti, Scottish flags and Scottish vandalism and so on. Little hints to Scotland, place names and street names linked to Scotland. So they still have the connection to the Grand Theft Auto here because it's obviously it was a Scottish game, you know. Hello, everyone who's joining. I'm not sure how long this tour is going to last, by the way. By the way, the park's closed to traffic at the weekends until 4 o'clock. The majority of the park, you can only come in. So here's the... Remember I started the tour yesterday in the Abbey? Man down for Ireland, cool. Get ready with your postcards, everyone. That's our first seat, the extinct volcano. I done a tour there last week, actually. I'm terrified, Mum. Microphone's going to blow away. So that's the Palace of Holyrood there. You can't get that good pictures of it, eh? There's too many trees and stuff in the way. You know? That's in front of the Parliament. See all the bars on the windows here again. Like bars everywhere. Keep the politicians in. It's actually a very accessible Parliament, believe it or not. They actually do really good tours of the Parliament. They're free as well, so you can register online for a tour. It is worth going to see the Parliament inside. The debating chamber's very nice and so on. So yes, I would recommend the Scottish Parliament tour. So we're going to go up to Regent Road now. We're going to go up past the American consulate. Do we have any Americans here today? And there's the palace. Oh, there's the palace. We're going to go up past. Oh, I'm getting flung about like a billy hole here. So there's the Psychic Garden. There's Mary Queen of Scots bathhouse, remember? For those of you who have been on Mary Queen of Scots tour. That's supposed to be a bathhouse where Mary Queen of Scots used to have a bath in white wine. Do you believe that? Lots of Americans today. I always get lots of Americans on my tours. There's 25 million Americans with Scottish heritage, of course. 5 million Canadians. 20% of Australia. Probably about 30% of New Zealand claims Scottish heritage. We've only got 5.5 million Scots. We've actually got more sheep here in Scotland than we have people. Because, of course, the Highland clearances, Scots, half of the population of Scotland from the Highlands were wiped out for sheep. Do they open the bathhouse? No, they don't. I've never seen inside it. I've never seen inside it. That used to be a walled garden at some point as well. I've never seen inside it, unfortunately. So that's the grounds of Holyrood there. Do you ever do a tour that passes the Oxford Bar? No, I'd have to do a walking tour. I can do that. I'm watching. This is where I get hit with the trees and the branches. Aha, you're not getting me this time, trees. Look, I've remembered. This is where I got whacked on the head with trees the last time I was standing up. Ha ha ha. Me no daft, me no silly. Yeah, I got whacked about 3 times on the head by a tree at that point. So I realised not to stand at the edge. Because I'll get whacked on the head. Woo! You're not supposed to stand up on a tour bus, of course, you know. It's a topless tour bus, you're not supposed to stand up. Hello, Emma. Regina, I take it you've been watching another tour. They'll be watching Outlander. I noticed Sam put a tour on again at the same time as me today. Oh, here we go. Now for an ambulance, there's a fire engine. Just about crashed there as well. I'm not angry, Emma. I'm just disappointed. Oh, look at the rabbits on the bowling green. Bowling green's not in use anymore. Oh, by the way, in fact, I forgot where I am. It's okay, the American consulate's further on. I thought I'd missed it. Hello, everyone. Who's joining? Thank you for coming on my tour just at the end. The tour's just about finished, actually. How's life, Emma? Get ready with some nice postcards coming up, by the way. Cool. Get ready, we've got some nice postcards. So this is where all the consulates are up here. Regent Road. Yeah, Edinburgh gets lots of coach tours. That's what I do. That's one of my jobs. On the end of the month, I start doing coach tours. So there you go, there's the American consulate, everyone. See the American flag? That's the American consulate up there. But look at this. This is the Robert Burns statue. Well, monument, sorry, Robert Burns monument. Dedicated to the monument of Lycoseti in Athens. We've got two of them actually. This one's dedicated to Robert Burns. And the other one's dedicated to Dougal Stewart, who was a leading light and a philosopher. A leading light in the Enlightenment period. I hope I've enjoyed Edinburgh. It's quite different seeing it from the top of a bus, isn't it? It's actually quite awkward to do because you're having to all the, the bus moves about quite a lot with all the potholes and so on and the tar. The roads are not the best. But we've got another good postcard coming up. Stay on just now for a good postcard, everybody. We've got some nice sky coming up here. Ooh. Hopefully we'll get a nice one coming around this corner. Is there also a tour of the castle? Yeah, you're not allowed to film in the castle, but I have done tours in the castle before. I do tours of Edinburgh Castle, and sometimes I just stay in and do a tour, a Hago tour. Look, got some nice postcards coming up. Thank you, Mel, for leaving a tip, by the way. Much appreciated. Yes. Postcards, everyone. Edinburgh Castle. I've got one tomorrow as well. It's a different route. We're doing the Britannia tour tomorrow. So this is the city centre tour. So tomorrow I do a tour. It does cover the city centre as well, but then it goes to Leith in the Britannia. What is the building with all the columns? I couldn't show you because I wanted to see the postcards. That's the Royal High building, Kathy. It used to be the Royal High School, and it's now getting converted into Scotland's National Music School, actually. What time tomorrow is 4 o'clock. That's the Nelson's Monument, the original time signal, built at the start of the 1800s. And there's the second monument of Lycoseti over here. You see it up there. You see it poking through. So that's another monument, a replica. Edinburgh is called the Athens of the North, or the Athena of the North. You'll still be working, Emma. When do the kids finish? Kids must be on holiday soon. Kids are always on holidays. So here's St Andrew's House, Art Deco building. If you stay on, by the way, I'm going to get off the bus and I'm going to show you a statue. Just stay on the tour, okay? We've got to get off the bus just now. I'm going to show you something before the tour finishes, okay?
Sir, where can I find your video?
YouTube, Edinburgh Street Tours. Or Hago. Right, buddy. Alright, cheers, pal. Here's the entrance. He's went past it. The girls, I didn't realise all the people were listening too much. They probably thought I was a better tour guide than the tour on the bus. All the people asked if they could watch my video. See, there's Cleopatra's, the Martyr's Monument there. Yeah. So the good thing about the buses are you can just get on and off any time. We'll go back on them. But this, at 4 o'clock is the last bus. So that was the second last bus, okay? So bear in mind, you can get on and off at any point, have a walk about, and then get back on the next bus. Okay? That's the old prison. Old Calton prison. But anyway, this is why I come here, look. The world's first statue dedicated to an American president. As I get off the bus, as soon as I got off the bus, the signal went. Are you still there? I hope you're still there. I'll get back. Here we go. I'll get back. I'll get back. There we go, look. There's a statue. Abraham Lincoln, see the freed slaves reaching up to him. In memory of the Scottish soldiers. The Scottish soldiers fought on the edge of the... It doesn't like that bit there. As soon as I go there, it cuts me off. Freaky, isn't it? So I hope I've enjoyed this tour today, everybody. Give me a thumbs up if you have enjoyed the tour. If you have enjoyed the tour, if you could please leave a tip, that would be fantastic. He was a supporter of Robert Burns's work as well. Abraham Lincoln, he liked Robert Burns's work. He used to woo his wife by reading Burns's poems to her, actually. So there you go, everybody. Thank you so much for coming on my tour today. Let's see, you can join me tomorrow for a tour of a different part of Edinburgh. We're going to go down to the Royal Yacht Britannia in Leith as well. So thank you so much, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon.